Hey, I'm super excited, you guys, for the Hebrew class that we're going to be having. I'm going to be taking you into a new book, and this book is just off the chain. Um, it makes you super smart. I don't know if it's because of all the other stuff we've been learning and all that, but it opens everything up. It's just a really refreshing. More of our study is going to be focused on you actually reading. I'm gonna have you read this.
Hey, I'm super excited.
I'm gonna have you be. You're gonna be.
Hey,
Reading,
I'm super.
You're gonna be reading Come on.
The Hebrew class that we're.
You're going to be reading. Look, I sound like a broken record. You're going to be reading. You're going to be reading. You're going to be reading a lot. Okay. And it's going to be fun. And you're going to break it out. And it's going to be nice. Okay. So it's going to be really, really awesome. This week's Torah portion is dealing with this idea of this word called Shelach. Okay. The command of the Creator is to the children of Israel to tell them, or to Moses, to send some spies. Okay. The word that we're using this week is called Shelach. Come on, work for me. Right here. This word right here. Okay. So Shelach is here in imperative, it's a command. Okay. It's the Most High giving a direct command to a second person, Moshe. Okay. And this word here also too basically means to send. Okay. So I need you to send someone somewhere. And the individuals that I want to send are the ones that I'm going to choose. Okay. And so he says, I need you to go out and spy out the land of Canaan. So our attention so far this week, remember that this is a direct object marker. Okay. So I want you to go and spy out, and then here's the arrow pointing to the land of Canaan, in which I am giving to the sons of Israel. Okay. I'm not giving this to anyone else. I'm giving it to the sons of Israel because I made a promise. I made a promise to the fathers of the sons of Israel, which are Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. The individuals that we're dealing with are those offsprings. And he said, I want you to take each man from the Lamate, from the tribe of each person, of their fathers. So these men are going to be the Nazis. They are the people who are supposed to bear, because that's what a Nasi is. It comes from our word Nasa, which is to lift up or to carry. Okay. And so what they're supposed to lift up and carry is a leader from among them. They're supposed to carry the people. Okay. That's what I want you to do. I want you to take the people who are responsible. Okay, so I'm not just choosing random people. These are people who are leaders among the sons of Israel. And I want you, again, here it is, the word Shelach. I want you to send them. Okay. Okay. And so what did Moshe do? He followed the command of the Most High and he sent them. Okay. Moshe from the wilderness of Paran to the command of Yahweh, by the mouth of Yahweh, all of them, Kulam Anashim, which are the men of the heads of the in particular families. And then they're going to list who these sons are, the sons of Israel. And here are the actual names, the Shemoth of those people. The reason why they're giving the names is because in the word Shemoth is what? What word is inside of Shemoth?
Shamar.
Yeah, well, very close. It's shame. And shame is name. And your name is your character. Okay. It's who you're supposed to be. Right. So your name is your character. And so the Most High is given this command. And so Moshe chooses these individuals out. Okay. And he chooses them according to their tribes of their families. And so there's very interesting about the names that, as we've seen before, that, for example, when we look at this word, and I'll just say the name and you tell me what it sounds like. Shamua. 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 What does that sound like?
Shamar.
Sounds like Shamar, yes, but it's actually Shema. And what does Shema Yisrael mean? What is Shema?
Hear,
Listen.
listen, obey.
Yeah, I need to, so it means to hear and it means to listen. And more than anything, if you're hearing and listening, you're supposed to what?
Obey.
Obey.
Hallelujah. So I want you to obey. So I'm taking a son. Okay, he's a bane of Zakur. Zakur sounds like what? Zakur sounds like Zakar. And Zakar means to, forgive my handwriting, you guys. This pen is tripping. It means to, Zakar is to remember. Okay. So when we look at this first name here, it's from to see a son, because that's who Reuben's name is. It's like the Most High is encoding something here, which is, but let me not forget about Bane. So Bane is a son, right? And it consists of those two letters, which is a bet, which is equals a tent. And then the next letter is a noon, right? Right here, which equals a seed. So when you put them together, it's called, what? A continuation, because that's what a seed does. It continues. And what is a seed continuing? It's continuing the tent. Who's in the tent? The family. So that's what a son does. A son is supposed to continue the family. Okay. Now that we understand what a son is, and it's always going to be continuing of the family, and to build, because that is actually the root of the word build. If I was to take this word right here, son, and I would just put a bet, a first letter, and then I would put the noon, not a final noon. This is a final because it's the last letter. And I would put a hey right there. That's called bana. And bana is to build. So that's why this word for son is so important, because what we're talking about is building the family. This in particular, son, means to obey and to listen and to hear. Okay. But when we read, we'll read it this way: Shemua ben Zakur. Okay. If we look here, that means to remember, and it means he remembered. Okay. Who's remembering? He remembers, right? The son of obedience. Else is the Most High is telling us. Okay. Or he remembers, okay, because it's in a perfect form, because the car is a perfect. He remembers the son of obedience. So this is the reason why the Most High has named this in particular individual. Okay. Unfortunately, later on this week, we're going to find out that this in particular person has not lived up to their character. They haven't lived up to their name. But Yah's giving us their names in order to speak to us and tell us who he remembers. He's going to remember the son of obedience. He's going to remember the son, but also too, let's be clear, the name for a daughter, okay, is called Abath, okay? But if I want for daughters, it would be Banoth, okay? It'd be Banoth, okay? And Banoth is B-A-N, I'm not A, Banoth. Banoth is daughters. You still got the bet and you still got the noon and you got the plurality of the feminine for daughters. So when it talks about a son, the son still here is representing not just the men of Israel, but he's remembering the daughters as well. Okay, so he remembers the sons and the daughters who listen and who obey. Okay, of the tribe of Shimon. Okay, so what is Shimon? What does his name mean? Do you remember? Let's look at the letters of his name. The shin, a mem, and an ayin. The shin, a mem, and an ayin. Okay. So his name has to do with something with the shin, a mem, and an ayin, which is to hear or to what? Listen and or obey. Okay. So I'm taking a son out of this guy's family. Okay. And out of his family, I'm looking at this person called Shaphat ben Kori. Okay. So the first part, the first name, do you guys know what Shaphat means? Shaphat means judge. That's what a Shaphat is. It's a judge. Okay. And let me see if I don't remember what Kori means off the top of my head. It's a ket and a resh and a yod. Let's see. So this in particular representative here is with see there only they just give the name Kori, but they don't give the same. I got to go find out where the root is.
Is it like freeborn or prince?
It could be, yeah, like but it tells you the word origin. So here where it comes from. So when we look at words, you don't want to just go off of what they just said. An inhabitant of Edom by the name of an Edomite, also the name of somebody from Shimon, because the Simonite is really Shimon. I want to find actual word origin. I want to find out why they named him the way that they named him, because his character is supposed to be important to me, right? So I'm gonna look on Core right quick, and this is what his name means: a whole. It means a whole. Okay, holes usually come from someone digging something out. So when he named whoever this Core is, he's or Shaphat. Shaphat is a name of a son of this guy named Core, and Core means a whole. Okay, which is interesting. So what would you take with that? A hole is somewhere, let me see. A hole is somewhere where you can hide something. A hole is something that has to be dug. A hole is somewhere where water may come out of, like a well or something. But the main part, go ahead.
Like a protection too, a hole to protect it.
Hold or protect, absolutely. So but here this alone tells me that this is dealing with a judge, somebody who has this idea of judgment, right? Because a Shaphat is a judge, right? So we're getting this idea of obedience, we're getting this idea of a judge, right? And we know the Yah is a judge and that he appoints judges. Okay. This other Mate of Yehuda, the one of praise. This in particular son, his name is, somebody tell me what's the name of the son that came out of, who represents the tribe of Judah? If I ever had another son, I would name him Caleb or Kalev. Okay. That name right there means dog. Okay. That's what it means. Okay. And the Eufune is from this word called, this yod right here is he. And then Panah, which is he faces. Okay. He will face or he or faces. Okay. He will face. Okay. And so he's the son of he's a dog, right? That's what they call Caleb or Kalev. And Kalev, if we're to take his name and break it down, what do you see in his name? Well, you see the Ka right here, which is a palm of the hand, right? This is a palm, right? So possession, something that's like, because we look at something, you put it in your hand to see, to make comparison. And then he has this next word, which is called lave, and lave is your heart, or what they would say in Hebrew, understanding, is your mind. So what it is, the Caleb is someone who has a like mind. He has a mind like what? like a dog. Okay. So what is a dog like? What is the mind of a dog?
Like obedience, listening,
Yes, it's
following instructions.
yes. Yes, it follows instructions. And the instructions of who?
Master.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Dr. Red, the master. So it knows its master. And it is obedient to his master. It listens to his master. It's by his master's side. When the master's sitting at the table, the dog is right there, right underneath by his feet. That's what Caleb was like. Okay. And a dog also, too, will face his opponents. And you're going to see that in your Torah portion this week, that he will face his opponents. He will stand up and he'll bark, and he'd be willing to go and do whatever they need to do. That's what he's like. That's very important for us to understand. And okay, so that's his character. Okay. And he's from the tribe of Yehuda. He's from the tribe of praise. Okay. And then, of course, we got the son of Yosef, which this guy's name is Yissachar. Excuse me, from the tribe of Yissachar. His name is Yigol. Okay. I believe this means, what does that yod mean right there? Grammatically. Anytime a yod is on something, he, yeah, absolutely. And then, so when you look at a Hebrew name, it'd tell you, what the name means. It has significance. So he is the first part of that. And then you have in that hand, which is he, Gaal, I believe, is to redeem, right? So he's saying he's the redeemer. Okay. So look, he redeems or will redeem. I think Gaal is redeem or circle. Let me see. Yeah, he redeems. I was correct. Redeems, because Gaal is to redeem. Okay. That's what that means. So when you look at his name, the Most High is sending this guy from the tribe of Issachar, right? And Issachar means his wages. So Yah redeems one of the sons of increase. Okay. So the idea of sending him is to call to attention to the children of Israel that he, and then it's in the front of it. It's not a verb, but verbs and nouns can be the same. Sometimes he will redeem. That's what his name means. So now we're seeing like, okay, so I got somebody who has a mind, who's like-minded, like a dog, who would stand up for me. I have someone who I'm sending who means he will redeem. To who's the he? The Most High. That's why his name is this. Okay, because the only redeemer that they know is Yah. That's the only one that they know. He listens and hears. The person has to listen and hear, but who's the judge? Yahweh's the judge. So what we're seeing these characteristics and these attributes that are found in these people's names. And this is the reason why the Most High is sending them to do what? To go spy the land. And from Ephraim, he sends Hoshea, which Hoshea's name means salvation, which is the son of Nun. Okay. Kind of like our letter Nun. Okay. And Nun is the son of a seed. And the son of what? If a seed does what? It continues. Okay. Or continues, or it can also mean continual. It also means continuity. So there's a lot of different ways, continues, continuity, just that whole idea of progressing. So there's some progress, right? And so if something's continuing, then something's growing. So that's the reason why his name is Nun, like the letter Nun. Okay, so he's actually named after one of the letters. His father's name is Nun, meaning continue. So salvation continues. That's what his name means. His name means salvation. And it means not only salvation, but it means deliverance. Okay. Please, Pen, help me out. Don't embarrass me. I'm on here with teachers and professors, and it delivers. Okay, deliverance. So the deliverance continues. See? So these two guys, which one is Hosea, which is they call Yehoshua. Moshe changed his name and just adds a yo to his name, but it means salvation continues. Deliverance continues. Okay, not to be caught up with this whole character Yeshua from the New Testament, because salvation didn't continue because Israel was never saved from their enemies. But Yah sending him because after they make this major mistake, Yah's salvation will continue. Yah is not just redeeming Israel, everybody, on one occasion. He's a constant redeeming of Israel in all their different situations that they've experienced. Okay. So when you look at it this week and you're going through those names, I want you to take out some time and go over these names, and you can see a whole bunch of stuff in their names. Like, Raphu means to heal, right? Benjamin is son of my right hand, and Zebulun to dwell in. Gadiel is to be a warrior, and Sodi means to have the foundation, right? So all those different names have something to do with Yah's intent about what he plans to do for the children of Israel. There is something, though, that I do want to read to you to kind of to show you what I mean by salvation continues and how Yah is always redeeming Israel. This week in our Psalms, I think it's 106, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 106 or 107. Let me double check right quick. Psalms 106. He's going to mention this relationship with the children of Israel that the Most High has had, and it gives us a clear picture about what he has been saying the whole time. Let me see, provoked him. Okay, it is in 106. Perfect. So let's read 106 right quick. It is a little bit lengthy, so we do have some time. So I want to kind of give us an idea about what this Torah portion is about. Okay, so it says first is Hallelujah, give thanks to Yahweh, for he is good, for his grace continues forever. That is an opening line statement to Hallelujah, because his grace does continue forever. He says, who can express Yahweh's mighty doings or proclaim in full his praise? That's the question. Who can do this? How happy are those who act justly and always do what is right? Remember me. This is what the psalmist is writing. Remember me, Yahweh, when you show favor to your people, and keep me in mind when you save them. Okay, so I can see how well things are going with those whom you have chosen. Okay, so the individuals that we're talking about are the ones that the Most High says that he's going to show favor to your people, and those people that he's showing favor are the same ones to whom you have chosen. Okay, those are the ones that you're going to save. Okay, so everybody's not getting out of here, okay, in a sense of, not being destroyed. Only some of us are going to be able to go back and to be in Yah's favor. And you're going to see that in this Torah portion this week, that the Most High pronounces a judgment on the children of Israel and their descendants. Okay, but then he gives us another opportunity to get things right. So I can rejoice in your nation's joy. Okay, not just your people, but your nation's joy, and glory in your heritage. Together with our ancestors, we have sinned. This is one of the famous words that is said all the time. You'll find this in the book of Daniel, chapter number 9, where he talks about we've sinned. Our ancestors have sinned. We have sinned. We have done wrong, and we've acted wickedly. This is the phrase that the Most High is looking for the people of Israel to say. So the individuals that's expressing this, and this is why we have to read the Psalms too, is because the individual that is expressing this is literally speaking on, because are they going to be able to see the salvation? The person who wrote this, have they seen Yahweh show favor to his people? No. Okay, so this is written for the end of the Most High had this psalmist write this in order for us to ask Yah to remember me. If you're going to remember me, then when you save them, you're going to remember me. I want you to remember me so I can see how well things are going for those you have chosen, so that I can rejoice in your nation's joy and glory in your heritage. Together with our ancestors, we, talking about the nation of Israel, have sinned and done wrong and acted wickedly. Our ancestors in Egypt failed to grasp the meaning of your wonders. Okay, that's mentioned on purpose. Okay, because they failed to believe in his signs and his wonders that you read in your Torah portion earlier this week. It talked about Yah's, he said his signs, his oaths. This is probably what they would call Nifaloth, but wonders are his oaths, the signs, which is that Aleph and that Wa and that Tav right there. He says that you forgot my oaths, you forgot my wonders that I've done. That's what they've done. They've forgotten those things. And he says, and keep in mind, they did not or didn't keep in mind your great deeds of grace. Remember, he opened up saying that your grace continues because salvation for Israel does continue. And he says, but they have rebelled. Now he's going to give us some insight about what did they do. Well, we read in Genesis or Exodus chapter number 15 that when they came at the Sea of Suf after they made it through, what did they do? They sung a song after they came out of there. But here it says they rebelled. Are we getting two different messages? No, the Most High is telling us that, listen, after he did what he did at the Sea of Suf, which they would call the Red Sea, they did not fully grasp the meaning of the dividing of the sea. They did not remember. They didn't keep it in mind what he has done. Because what he has done is he has shown grace to the people of Israel. He says, yet he have saved them. You have saved them for his own name's sake. Why is it mentioned about his namesake? Because his name is his what?
Character.
It's his reputation and it's his character. Okay, it's his reputation, it's his character. And this is one of the things that the Most High has been trying to get us to understand, that the only thing that I'm doing for you is not just for you, it's for me. Yah has played a big role in the lives of our ancestors, and it wasn't just for them. They're the beneficiaries of, that's what they didn't grasp, the understanding of his wonders. They didn't keep it in mind. It didn't mean anything to them. They didn't understand it. But now you and I are on this side of time, and we should be able to look back and understand it. That's why when we read the Torah, he keeps talking about his name. To make known his mighty power to who? Not only to them, but to everybody around. He rebuked the Sea of Suf, the Red Sea, and he dried up. He led them through its depths as through a desert. Well, how far was the sea from the surface of where they walked in? Okay, I showed it to you before. I think I told you, if you can remember, it was literally over 10,000 feet down. So the surface of where they were, everyone, was here. Let me just get another one. I don't have to read all. We'll just take parts of it. God wants me to bring this out. I'm going to do another share with you. I'm going to show you something. Okay, so you can fully understand and grasp the meaning of his wonders. Okay, so when the children of Israel were being chased, okay, they were chased on the land. Oh, come on, don't fail me. Dirt, okay, right? And they came to the water, okay, Sea of Suf, okay, and on the other side of the Sea of Suf was land. So, if you're standing right here, you can just see the water all the way across over to this part of the land, another landmass. You're standing on land and all you see is water. Going down, okay, is a bottom. There has to be some type of bottom. I wish I would have not gone that far. Is a bottom of that sea. Okay. And in here is nothing but water. Excuse me. Water all the way down. Okay. The Most High, okay, opens up the sea. So what he does is, use my eraser. He splits open the sea. Okay. And when they walk on a path. Let me see. Gotta get rid of my eraser. They walk. Where's my thing? He makes a path for them to walk on. To the other side. Okay. Now, let me just stay consistent. He's got to imagine him splitting the sea open because there's water on both sides. There's water on this side and there's water on this side. And then he makes a path. Okay. So the path is down over 10,000 feet. So from here all the way down to this path is 10,000 feet. Okay. And just imagine, forget about this one down here. He opens it up. That's the only way I was able to do it. He opens the sea up and it's 10,000 feet down. You can go look this up. You can go look at the Red Sea and see if I'm telling you the truth. It's 10,000 feet. So they walk all the way down. Okay. Until they get on a dirt path. Like that's why he says they're walking on the desert, because it's a long way from over on this side to this side. And so he's provided a space for them. And there's nothing but walls, solid walls of water on both sides of them as they're walking on that path. There's two walls of water that's between them. Okay. And so the Most High makes this path for them. They didn't understand this. They didn't understand what this meant. The Most High has never done anything like you and I are seeing right here for anybody. This was a work that has been done, and it shows his power. It shows that he's the master. Praise be to the living Elohim. He is the master of all. He has the power of all. He could tell the sea to split. Okay. And just split it like a knife cut, and he divided the water where there was walls of water on both sides of them. Okay. Now, if you and I were to go in a swimming pool, it's 13 feet. Can you just tell the water to separate so you can walk down and get your little thing you were swimming for? No. How much power does it take to move? Or, what is 1 gallon of water? What is 1 gallon of water weigh? 1 gallon of water. How much does it weigh? Do you know?
No.
It's about 8 pounds. Roughly, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. About 8 pounds. It's very heavy. Water is very heavy. So if he's moving, he cuts open the sea like this and he splits it. What is he saying? He's saying, I have all power. I have power over everything. Okay. So this is what our ancestors had a problem understanding, that I didn't do this just for you. I used your situation in order for my own name's sake. Because this is what I intend to do, is to make my power known. And I'm using you to do that. You're not using me, I'm using you. Okay. So, and then he said he rebuked it. He spoke to it and it dried up. And he led them through its depths to 10,000 feet deep down, like as they were walking through a desert. Okay. And that he saved them. So look at all the things that he did. He saved them for his own namesake. And then it says he saved them. He saved them from hostile hands, people who wanted to kill him. He redeemed them. Remember, we just saw the name Yagal. He redeemed them. Okay. From the power of their enemy. The water closed over their adversaries and not one of them was left. Okay. Their adversaries is his adversary. Okay. And then they believed his words. Really? Yeah. And like I told you, they sang his praise when they came out through the other side. What before they were going, before he opened up the sea, he said that they rebelled against him. meaning that he told them. They started crying and complaining and saying, we're going to die right here, right now. And the Most High told Moshe, Moshe went to the Most High and said, they're coming up on us. And he told him, why are you talking to me? This is Most High said to Moshe, why are you talking to me? Why are you doing this right now? Okay, let me show it to you so you can say, so you can see what I'm saying. Because the Most High checked Moshe. Okay, and the reason why he checked him is because he had a problem. Okay, well, let me just skate over to our other, where we'll find this account, which is in chapter number 14 of Exodus. Okay, I think it has to be 14 because 15 is when they sang their song. So 14 is this. Okay, here you go. 14:9. The Egyptians went after them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh with his cavalry and army, and overtook them. They were overtaken, everyone. And as they were encamped by the sea, by the P with the mouth of Hakoroth in front of Baal-Zephon. And Pharaoh approached, and the people of Israel looked, and they saw the Egyptians right there coming after them. In great fear, the people of Israel cried out to Yahweh. And listen what Moshe said. Pay careful attention. Moshe and said to Moshe, was it because there weren't enough graves in Mizraim that you brought us out to die in the desert? You see this? So they're saying something because of their fear, right? So now they're saying you brought us out here because there wasn't enough graves, implying that you brought us out here to die in the desert. This is the first time they ever said in your Torah portion, you're going to find out that they say exactly the same thing that they said right here. That's why the psalmist is telling us that they rebelled against the Most High. This is rebellion against the Most High. Okay. And they asked the question, why have you done this to us? Just like they're going to ask in our Torah portion, bringing us out of Egypt. Remember, they think to themselves, we would be better off dead than to leave where we are. Just like you saw last week, it'd be better that we would be back and eating the food that we ate and where we lived versus being out here, have no food to die. Okay. And then he says, didn't we tell you in Egypt, let us alone? That's the rebellion. This is before the sea even opened up. We'll just go on being slaves for the Egyptians. Isn't that what we told you? Not that we asked you. This is what we told you. It would be better for us to be the Egyptian slaves than to die in the desert. So as you see, everyone, this is the mindset of the people. So what they would rather do is they would rather die and rather go back to being a slave, okay, than to follow and have any challenges in their life instead of going where the Most High wants them to go. Now listen what Moshe said. Moshe answered the people, stop being so fearful. Okay. I want you to repeat what he said. He said, stop being so fearful. Like he has all the faith in the world. Remain steady and you will see how Yahweh is going to save you, which is you're going to see the salvation of Yahweh. He will do it today. This is what he said. Today, you have seen the Egyptians, but you will never see them again. Okay, and he's making this declaration. Yahweh will do battle for you. Just calm yourselves down. This is what he's telling the people, screaming at them. Okay, letting them know what it is. Now check this out. This is interesting. Yahweh asked Moshe, why are you crying to me? Tell the people of Israel to move forward. And he instructs them, lift up your staff, reach out your hand over the sea and divide it in two. And the people of Israel advance in the sea on dry ground. So this is very telling to us about how the Most High felt about Moshe's response. On one side of it, he's telling the people to stop being so fearful. He's telling the people, remain steady, and you're going to see how Yahweh is going to save you. Okay, and he's given all these great things, all these, wonderful things that he's saying. Just calm down. Yahweh's going to do battle for you. Then Yah tells us something about Moshe. He tells us about the conversation that Moshe had with him. why are you crying to me? Why are you crying to me? Because you just told these people to stop being fearful. You just told them to remain steady. You just told them I was going to save them. You told them all these things about me. Right? So you're speaking about me. You're talking about my reputation. But in the background, you're crying to me? Really? Okay. So this was a character flaw that you see in Moshe. What he's doing is, Yah is letting us know that I have a problem with Moshe crying out to me. Because he's doing exactly, he's acting as if he really believes what he just told these people in verse number 13. If he had faith towards what I said, he wouldn't be crying to me. He just would have done what I told him to do. You see? So you tell the people of Israel to go forward and you lift your staff because he wasn't 100% certain about what the Most High was going to do. That's why the Most High challenged him and said, why are you crying to me? Okay. So what can we learn from this? Because it's about learning. It's not just to know the story. It's about how we can apply this to our lives. So looking at this, and the reason why we were brought here, because we started off in chapter number 106 in the book of Psalms. They said that they rebelled against the Most High, right? And then he just told us one of the problems he had with Moshe, okay? The Moshe didn't believe either, okay, at that in particular moment, because he would, if he would have believed, he wouldn't have been crying to him. So he was messing, anytime we don't, okay, if we're going to say anything about the Most High, and we're going to mention him, and we're going to mention the great deeds that he does, then you and I have to have a life, and we have to have an action and a response to prove that the Most High is going to do what he says. That's what he's saying. Because everything is based upon Yah's name. It's based upon his reputation. That's what this is about. This is about Yah's reputation. This is not about how you and I see things. It's about what he wants us to know about his own name. That's what we're missing, everyone, is because he wants this to be known. He wants his name to be known and understood. He wants to let us know what's associated with his name, which is his power. He wants us to understand that I control all things. He wants us to know that, you know, I save them from their enemies because of my own hand. I close the water over your adversaries. He says they believed in his words after he delivered them, then they sang his praise in chapter number 15 after 14. See, but he says, but they soon forgot his deeds in 13, and they wouldn't wait for his counsel. So in spite of what he's done for them, in spite of his miracles, in spite of his wonders and his power, in spite of all that he's shown them, they still would not wait for his counsel. Because in the desert, they gave way to their insatiable greed, meaning they were asking, like we read last week about, hey, we want more food. We want meat. We don't like this manna. In the wastelands, they put Elohim to the test. And this is what you're going to find in your Torah portion. And the Most High says, I'm tired of you testing me. Okay. And he gave them. So the relationship here is this back and forth. I give something to you. I do something for you. Your response to me is rebellion. Your response to me is, can you set a table out in the wilderness for me? Your response is, where's the water? Your response is, I don't want this bread. Your response is crying and, complaining. That's your response. So he gave them what they wanted, but he sent meagerness into their souls. Yah will sometimes give us the things they were asking for, but there's always going to be something missing within us. So often when we ask for things, we're only asking it so we can fulfill that insatiable greed and that lust that we have for something or someone. And the Most High is not after that. What he's after is to fill us inside, internally, to make us complete, because if we're not complete and we're not whole, we cannot serve him with wholeheartedness. Okay. So in the camp, they were jealous of Moshe and Aharon, Yahweh's Holy One. Yahweh's Holy One is Aharon. That's the one who was anointed before them. Moshe was the one that Yah has called, and he's a prophet to the Most High, but he was never anointed, but like Aharon, which is the Kadosh one, he's the one that they were jealous of. You're going to find in our Torah portion that they had want to do a coup and they want to go against the power structure that Yah had put in place. The earth opened up and it talks about how they swallowed up Dathan and Abiram. We're going to stop right there for the sake of time. And of course, it goes a little bit more into what they were doing. But the bottom line is this, and we're going to see that, he's done great wonders. And he keeps talking that, they forgot Elohim in 21 and who saved them, who has done great things and wonders for them in the land of Kam, fearsome deeds. So why is he continually making known about this sea? This is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is one of the things he keeps saying. The Sea of Suf, the Sea of Suf. They rebelled at the Sea of Suf. I've done this. This is not a small thing, everyone. So in hindsight, we can look at it and say, okay, the Most High is letting us know about his power. He's letting us know how much I love you. I could have allowed you to be destroyed by your enemies, but I didn't do that. I actually took a 10,000 foot deep place and I opened it up where you would walk across the ground when it's completely yabashah, meaning it's completely dry. Your feet were not getting stuck and muddy. You walked across there. I dried it up for you. I put walls of protection. I split that for you because I'm your Elohim. So that's the beginning of our teaching this week on Shelach. Okay. So the Most High initially asked Pharaoh to send his people, not let my people go. Is this sea same as the Sea of Reed? Yes, it is, Pam. Okoti. The Red Sea, the Sea of Suf, yes. So just like Mount Korev is the same as Mount Sinai. So the Most High is asking for his people to be sent. Okay. I need them to be sent out of this place in order for them to come to me so they could worship me and they can fulfill their destiny. You and I have a destiny with the Most High. Destiny is not a magical word. Yah has, if you want to switch it out, call it your purpose. Like Moshe said, your purpose of life is to exist to be these people. I was talking to a young man today and I was trying to explain to him that Yah's intention for his people is different from any intention he's had for anybody else on the face of this earth. Our lives are going to be completely different. Our approach to different life situations should be different. Our mannerisms, our manner of life and our conduct must be different. Okay? We're the people of praise. We're the people of honor. We're the people who's supposed to establish Yah's name on the face of this earth. We're literally like aliens, if you want to say it, want to tell the truth. And we have to accept that. Listen, and you'll hear me say this all this week because that's my motto. We're not trying to be Israel. We're not trying to be the children of Israel. You and I are the children of Israel. We're the descendants of those people. And you inherently know this. So, this idea of you're trying to be Hebrew, you're not trying to be Hebrew. You're in a space and time in which Yah has called you and has set you aside and apart for his service and for him to speak with us and to teach us to see whether or not you want to follow him. So is he trying to restrain us? No, I'm not trying to restrain you. All because I take you out from a different place and I'm asking you to go somewhere else doesn't mean that I'm restraining you. What it means is that I'm protecting you. I forgot which one you guys said. I think it was you, Akoti Kawika, where you talked about protection. I'm trying to protect you. You're looking at it like I'm trying to restrain you. I'm not trying to restrain you. If I have to restrain you, okay, if I got to put a noose on your neck and I got to tie you up somewhere so you won't go anywhere, that's not the relationship that I want with you. I'm not interested in that relationship. I'm interested, and when I say something, you're going to listen to what I said, and you're going to stay on the path that I'm walking on and I'm leading you on. You're going to be very attentive to my words and my voice. You're going to recognize it, and you're going to know that I'm serious. But if I got to continue to keep chasing after you because you want to just go off the path and you don't want to be here, you're fighting against being here, then you should go. You should go. Okay? Because if you don't want to go to the destination that I have said, then you're not going. And that's what we're going to find out this week in our Torah portion. This is one of the most difficult Torah portions to deal with because it really gives you insight into who the Most High is and who is and what he's like and what his character is like and how much patience he has, but also too that there's consequences for our actions and our behaviors, especially when the Most High is the one who says Shelach, to go, to send you somewhere, to do something, right? Praise be to the living Elohim. Any questions before I let you go? If not, I say all praise and appreciation and gratitude belongs to our King, our Elohim. There is nobody else on the face of this earth that loves you more than Yahweh. Period. Yah willing, as a Koti Pan would say, I'll see you on Yom Kamishi. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, Lala Tov.
Lila Tov.